All right, old buddy, old pal. You gonna fit? You gonna fit without causing any problems? I sure hope so. We got this. We got this. All right, so on the front side here, we are seeing just how well this 8L90 fits. And honestly, you've had it up in there once. It wasn't that bad, right?
Nah, it's a little tight, but
Yep.
fits.
I ordered the wrong frame mounts for the motor, right?
Yes and no.
Yes and no. So we went to, get all this put together, and apparently there's multiple frame body mounts and different positions. We got the taller ones. We need the shorter ones because this, fits like a small block would have in the 60s, the LS that's going to go in this. So we need to get some different motor mounts, but otherwise it still allows us to pretty much fit it up in there.
Yes.
And there's no major cutting. We might need a ball peen hammer for a couple spots,
A little massaging, and
which will all get covered up, from the interior. But we were expecting a lot more cutting and just taking a whole bunch out. But that's the cool part. That's the fun part. What about the looks part? Want to go show us what you've done back there?
Sure.
Okay, good.
All right, so here we did a lot of cutting and replacing. Was missing something like a trunk pan when we started. Fit the new one in, and we've been welding and fitting and welding and grinding some more, and looking pretty good now. It's about ready to get some final touches on it.
Yeah, the more metal we took off, so like the rear bumper braces, we took those out, and there's pretty much no floor sheet metal left in there. Moisture got in there. That's about 3 layers of metal between the frame, the floor or the trunk pan, and that bracket. So that the thinnest metal lost out right there between the frame and the bracket. On top of just Swiss cheese throughout the whole floor. So, we put these mini tubs in and put the new floor in, and it's seamless. It looks really nice. And now that you're grinding it up, it's
finished up.
It's looking pretty good. We'll probably put some kind of coating in here. They'll seal it really well. Just about ready for primer. But how about the mini tubs? They went in pretty well, right?
Wasn't too bad. I mean, fitting was a little intimidating at first, but once you got in there and just got to it, it fell into place.
Yeah.
Wasn't bad.
We're getting rid of these seams. We're still trying to decide on these seams. We haven't decided what we want to do there, have we?
No. I think we should get
we're going to make that decision soon. They're not bad as they are, but it's going to take the same amount of work either way. So we just got to decide what look we want. But first things first, and that is getting the flush mount glass in here, making it look nice. So, we put these new quarters on, new metal both sides, and even without new metal, old metal probably wouldn't have been straight for flush mount, right?
Correct.
So we get to build up this metal a little bit here. And when we get that, flush mount in here, it'll be a nice, perfect gap all the way around. But that's next on the metal, right?
Correct.
We're just trying to get the drip edges through transmission and everything in. Drip edges, yeah. So we cut those out, made some custom ones here. They're looking pretty good. They're not quite there. We want to get a little filler rod instead of using the MIG. So
I'll go with that, yeah.
It'll work a little bit cleaner with a TIG or some filler rods. So we're gonna get that, but you can see from the B-roll, it's probably panning right now. They're looking pretty darn nice. And then we'll fill this with some stuff and fix some of the metal we had to massage. Move on to the next.
Yeah, I noticed that. That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that was fun. But all right. All right, so you can see we've made a few changes, and when I say we, I mean Jason. He's been back here on the back part of this car a lot recently. I think the biggest elephant in the rim's the flush mount glass and how great it looks. How'd that come out?
Pretty good. It was a little tricky getting to this point, but we got there.
Yeah.
A little bit of welding, a little bit of grinding, so.
Took a little adding.
Yeah,
subtracting it.
We had to add a little bit on the sides. 3/16 probably on each side easily.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more, give or take. So
3/16 on this. How about the trunk though, with these new quarters?
Ooh, now, yeah, on that, I bet one side was a little over a quarter with having to cut, pull, fill, and then with the trunk lid itself, we had to add a little to that as well. So
yeah, so we added to the trunk door and to the quarters, you know, these things, and we had them hammered up against, you know, the side here. The best thing to do was to just bring these corners, so these quarters a little bit wider back here on each side. But we have an amazing body line back here now, so I think it's going to look pretty darn great. And then we kind of just took out all the seams, all the seam down here through the trunk filler, the tail light panel,
across the
lower quarters. That seam's gone now, and you know, this is still just the metal work with the primer on it. But that'll get cleaned up even more than probably what you saw on the B-roll just now. But this thing's starting to look a little bit different than a factory 69 Camaro, I'd say.
Yeah, I don't think factory could have done this.
Yeah. No, they like to just pinch them, a couple spot welds, moving on to the next guy. But speaking of that, you know, we're kind of at a stopping point as far as this video on the metalwork, because metalwork's done now. Might be a few things here and there. Forgot something. We found this, so we've got a little more metal work to do. But next video, we'll actually start some assembling. The underside of this is actually painted, and we can start building the rear suspension, because it's a pretty intricate rear suspension, torque arm and all that good stuff. So we'll get to working on that here pretty soon, get the front end attached. You know, you saw the transmission fit perfectly. But keep watching, keep following, and subscribe so you get to see the next one. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.
Like, share, and subscribe.
Boom, nailed it.